Hey y'all, Mila, the Hangry Woman here with an interesting topic for today. And we're going to be talking about counterfeit Ozempic and Wegovy pens. I actually can't believe that this is a thing, but here we are. I am the founder of hangrywoman.com as well as Glucose Guide app. And I am a person living with LADA, latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. It's a slow progressing form of type 1. And I love talking about life with diabetes, diabetes self-management, self-care, and just giving people an overall perspective of what it's like to live with diabetes, even though my experience is absolutely just one of many. Today, we're going to be talking about counterfeit Ozempic and how to spot fakes versus spotting authentic versions of Ozempic and Wegovy. If you like this kind of content, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I have a video that has like almost 1 million views about Ozempic, and I wish in that video I would have asked everybody to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, because then I might have 1 million subscribers and be a cool channel on the internet. So be sure to do that. I also wanted to let you know that I talk about a lot of these topics because I am a student in dietetics. I'm getting my master's degree in applied nutrition. So you'll find a lot of food content here as well on this channel. But with that, let's just hop in and get to it. I cannot believe that counterfeit Ozempic exists. A couple of days ago in the news, it was reported in Austria that a couple of people were hospitalized and got sick because they were taking counterfeit Ozempic and there was not Ozempic in the actual pen. What happened was they were taking insulin, which, as you know, insulin requires very precise dosing. Maybe you don't know that insulin requires precise dosing. And if you take too much insulin, you can put yourself into a really bad hypoglycemic situation, which is really scary, really disorienting, and can kill you, honestly, if you take too much insulin and your body can't handle it and you don't have a way of getting those blood sugars back up. So a few people were hospitalized because they were taking counterfeit Ozempic, which actually had insulin in the vials, which is just blows my mind, totally wild. But then it made me think, well, how do you spot a counterfeit Ozempic? How do you spot a counterfeit Wegovy pen? What are you supposed to be looking for to make sure that you're getting the right medication? The very first thing to think about is that Ozempic requires a prescription from a physician. So if you are buying your Ozempic from some website online that doesn't require a prescription, if you're buying your Ozempic, and so there are a few ways to be able to tell whether you're getting a counterfeit pen versus you getting an authentic pen. One is that you want to visit your doctor and get a prescription for Ozempic or Wegovy. These medications are only offered with a prescription. If you're buying it without a prescription, it's likely that you're buying a counterfeit that doesn't have the correct medication or the right ways to administer the proper dose. So that's the first step, is that you want to get a prescription and you want to seek out a reputable source, a pharmacy that you regularly go to, that you are comfortable with, and ensure that you're actually getting the right pen and the right medication. The second thing is that you may be able to just look at a box and tell. So if you're getting a counterfeit version of these medications, you might find misspellings on the front of the box. You might find that the printing on the inside that has the step-by-step instructions on how to actually administer the medication doesn't look quite right. You might notice that there aren't any pen needles inside of that box. Those are all things that can signal that you have a counterfeit Ozempic pen, and the medication that you're aiming to take might not be the medication that you are taking. So check those things, make sure that things are spelled right, that the label is actually affixed to the pen. It doesn't look like it's peeling off. Another way that you can tell an authentic Ozempic pen versus a counterfeit pen is by the dose window. So the dose window is only going to give you the number in what dose you're taking. It's not going to count up these numbers incrementally, because that's not how the medication is administered specifically for Ozempic. So Ozempic comes in 3 configurations. It comes in a pen that gives 0.25 milligram and 0.5 milligram doses. It comes in a pen that gives a 1 milligram dose, and it comes in a pen that gives a 2 milligram dose. Those are the only ones you're going to find for Ozempic. And if you notice that you're looking at the dial when you're dialing up the medication and it looks like it's counting up and there are all these numbers, it's likely a counterfeit. So you want to look and make sure that in the dose dial, you're actually getting the number for what you are taking. And it's not just like these random dosage numbers, because it's not how the medication works. For Wegovy, the pens are all fixed dose. So you won't have to turn and look at a dial. You won't have to set a dose. You're going to get the exact dose that you need in the pen that you've gotten. So if you notice that for Wegovy, you have a dial to turn, probably not a real pen, probably not authentic. There's also a tamper restraint on boxes for Ozempic. You might get a box that doesn't have the tamper restraint that tells you that this box has been sealed. And so that's also another way to be able to tell a counterfeit pen. And the batch number that's printed on your pen might not be the batch number that corresponds to the strength of the medication listed on the box. So those are other ways that you can tell if you're getting a counterfeit Ozempic pen. But truly the way to mitigate this is to make sure that you're getting your pens from a reputable pharmacy, from a pharmacy retailer that is going to check that you are supposed to be taking the medication and that accepts your prescription. If there is a website that is telling you that you can get Ozempic pens without a prescription, it is likely not the place that you want to get your pen. I'm also going to put up some graphics that show you what an authentic pen versus a counterfeit pen look like. So you can see the pen with the cap and kind of what those dosages look like. The pen is very small. It is going to have kind of like a 0 in that dosage window. The push button injector is going to be a like grayish color, while the pen is a bluish color, and different dosages have different label colors. Without the cap, you're going to open it. It's not going to have like a labeled window for your dosages. So you want to look out for that. You're not going to see little like tick marks that tell you like an increase in like what the dosage is. That's not what the pen looks like. Counterfeit pens have a spindle top. So when you turn it, you're kind of going to see that plunger go down. You're going to see the top go up. The regular Ozempic pen does not do that whenever you turn it. So those are just some really good things to look out for. And then the carton that it comes in, you're going to see that it has the dosage number, the dosage type that's on your pen on the side. It's going to tell you that it's for single use only. It's going to tell you how much is inside of the pen. It's also going to tell you things like the batch number. It's going to have the Novo Nordisk logo in the proper colors. It's like these little tiny things that sometimes the box is also red, white, and has like some blue elements on it. A fake one is going to be grayed out. It's not going to look right. You'll know that it doesn't look right. The best way to mitigate these things is to go to a reputable doctor who will get you a prescription, who will send it to a reputable pharmacy. You really risk your life, your health by buying counterfeit medications because you're not getting the right medication. You don't know what you're injecting into your body if it's not coming from the manufacturer. The price of the medications are still the go-to. They are still who you should get your medications from because it's going to ensure safety, going to ensure that you won't hurt yourself by purchasing off-brand or counterfeit product. What do you do if you run into a counterfeit pen? So there are a few options. You can call Novo Nordisk's customer care and tell them about your experience. They'll probably want to know about any adverse events that happen with your taking of this medication, as well as where you got it from, what the product looks like. Keep and retain all of that information, because if you need to report it, you need to have as much information as possible. The FDA's MedWatch safety information line is really, really helpful to report adverse events from counterfeit medications, to report websites that are selling counterfeit medication. When it comes down to people thinking that they're buying one medication and then they're getting something else entirely that could harm them. That's kind of where I can't get on board with it. Like, none of us should be on board with it, but it's the situation we find ourselves in, especially with Ozempic being a popular drug right now. It's, getting hailed and dubbed the miracle drug. And I feel bad for like the lengths that people feel like they have to go to be able to get this drug. But taking the shortcut to getting it ultimately does not help you, and it could harm you more in the process. So just think about those things before you decide to buy Ozempic from an online retailer who doesn't ask you what your dosage is supposed to be, doesn't give you, any guidance on actually how to take it, and also accepts your order without you having a prescription for it. Like, those things are just absolutely nuts to me. If you go to your doctor or your endocrinologist and you just like really, really want to try Ozempic, your doctor likely gets samples of it. And so they can give you a sample. You can try it, see if you like it. Don't waste your money taking a medication that maybe doesn't agree with you or that doesn't give you the results that you're looking for. There is nothing that is worth it about risking your health. And so it's super important that you stay safe in these ways and that you make sure that you're getting what you need. You're getting the right things. You are able to get the medications that are actually going to work for you and not ones that are going to harm you instead. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked the content. Remember that you can also join my free community. If you go to glucoseguide.app, it'll take you to download my app from the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. So hope that you have a great week, that you get all of the things that you want and desire, and that you take very, very good care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.